Alright, Volume 2, Vehicle Inspection Maintenance, APTA, RTM, VIM, RP 01103. 11. Recommended practice for the rail transit vehicles inspection, maintenance, training, and qualifications. Introduction. The introduction is not part of the APTA, RTM, VIM, RP 01103. Recommended practice for the rail transit vehicle inspection, maintenance, training, and qualifications. Recommended practice of rail transit vehicle inspection, maintenance, training, qualification represent the common viewpoint of the parties concerned with the provision, namely Transit Operating Planning Agency for the manufacturer consultant with the engineers general interest groups. Application any standard of the practice with the guidelines contained herein purely voluntary, in some case with the federal state regulations governing the portion of the rail transit system operation. In this case, the government regulations take precedence over the recommended practice. The APTA recommends for certain application of the standard practice and implemented with the individual rail transit agencies may either more or less restrictive than given in this document. The recommended practice describes the basic qualification training requirements of the rail transit system and employee with the contractor responsible for the inspection, testing, maintenance, rail transit vehicle. APTA recommends the use of the recommended practice. Individual organization inspect and maintain rail transit vehicles. Individual organization contract with others for maintenance, inspection, maintenance of the rail transit vehicles. Individual organization influence how rail transit vehicles are inspected or maintained. Participants, and then it goes into contents, overview, scope, purpose, reference, definition, abbreviation, acronyms, definition, abbreviation, acronyms, frequency, performance, task, specific task, course development requirements, general course requirements, course and structure guide, course style guide, and Annex A, Annex B. Alright, recommended practice for the rail transit vehicle for the inspection, maintenance, the training, qualification, overview of the 1-1 scope of the recommended practice provide with the guidance for the training, qualification, rail training for the system employed with the contract to perform inspection, maintenance for the rail transit vehicle. The recommended practice can be applied to develop and train materials for the employee with the contract of performing inspection, maintenance for the rail transit vehicle, including daily vehicle inspection, periodic inspection, maintenance groups. 1-2 purpose. Purpose of the recommended practice for the ensure of the rail transit system employee with a contract for the perform vehicle inspection, maintenance tasks, or trained to perform those tasks correctly and effectively. Inspection, maintenance of the program for the rail transit vehicle, the resulting safe, reliable operating requirements. Comprehensive inspection, maintenance with the procedure for the instruction, full training with qualified supervisor and inspector, maintainers, supervisor, understand, and enforcer for maintenance procedure for the instruction. Recommended practice provide with the guidelines, content of the rail transit system training, qualification program, vehicle inspection, maintenance. Section 5 of the recommended practice for the instruction. Just requirements for such program. Section 6 and give the suggestion of material they should develop with the inspection, maintenance, training course, such as lessoning plans, instructor note for the student handouts, etc. for the instructor method level of the detail necessary. Generic rail transit system should determine the training method level of the instruction detail appropriate for use of the equipment existing skill level of the other employees. 2. No reference. No references were used to develop this recommended practice. 3. Definition, abbreviation, acronyms. Definition. For the purpose of the recommended practice, the following term definition apply. Contractor person under the contract with the rail transit system or employee with the organization under the contract rail transit system for the perform inspection made with the rail transit vehicle. Abbreviation, acronyms. OEM stands for original equipment manufacturer, frequency, and performance. Rail transit system should establish a frequency and performance requirement for the training with the qualification rail transit employee with a contract to perform interest inspection made for the safety critical system of the rail transit vehicle, the base of the operating experience and attrition rates. The hour of the rail transit system should not assign the vehicle inspection for the maintenance tasks without guidance from the presence of the qualified employee to an employee with a contractor until the person successfully completed the training recommended for the system procedure for the recommended practices. Rail transit system determine the appropriate interval to refresh the training based on the complexity of the equipment for the observation. Vehicle inspection made by the supervisor of the APTA recommended for the intervals not exceed 3 years. Rail transit system should develop the conduct with the training and inspection made for the new equipment prior to the equipment being played within revenue service. 5. Requirements of specific tasks. Each of the rail transit systems shall establish a training qualification program for the employees of the contractor that perform inspection maintenance of the rail transit vehicles. As part of the program, each rail transit should have the minimum identified tasks related to the inspection, testing, maintenance that will be performed by each type of equipment of the rail transit system operator. Develop the written procedure for the performance of the tasks identified in paragraph A. Identify skills and knowledge necessary to perform each task identified in paragraph A. Create training and curriculum included with the classroom hands-on lesson designed with the impart with the skill of the knowledge identified with the necessary to perform each task identified with the paragraph A. Rail transit system should give the guidance given in section 6 of the recommended practice to develop the training curriculum. Require all employees with the contract to successfully complete with the training course of the coverage of the tasks which are responsible may include with a reading of the hands-on test required of the direct supervisor employee with a contractor, complete with a program with a fully imparts knowledge, skills necessary to ensure the employees when they are supervised successfully perform the tasks that they are assigned. This should include all of the refresher training of the employee with a perform the inspection meeting with the task is probably the normal duties does not perform the normal duty extended period of time to be determined by the individual rail transit agencies required for the refresher training, whose classroom hands-on training may include written or hand-on testing. Require refresher testing training with a maintaining qualification periodic intervals and the extent of the refresher training with the time and the interval required with the term of the rail transit system. No equipment training with the substitute with the refresher training. Add new test equipment with the training program and assume that the information for the inspection maintenance is available. Maintain records adequate with the demonstrator that each employee with a contractor performing the inspection maintenance task for the rail transit vehicle is currently qualified to do so. Course development requirements. Rail transit systems should use these core development requirements to ensure that their vehicle inspection maintenance the courses that are high quality, have a consistent look and feel, but that are easily to adapt new equipment and change with the operating environment, lead to safe, reliable vehicle operation, support effective delivery of course material. 6.1 General course requirements. If the contact course for the shall have the focus with the rail transit inspection maintenance have the required with the state oversight agencies and contain the original equipment, the manufacturer inspection, maintenance recommendations implemented with the rail transit system procedure and policies. Course of the rail transit system vehicle and inspection maintenance for the curriculum should be designed with the target audience verifying experience level. The rail transit should develop the course instructor's guide with each for the course of the common system course type guide with the formats all course for the curriculum. 62 Course Instructor Guide. The instructor guide shall provide all the information, instruction, and the documentation material necessary to experience and instructor delivery of the course. The instructor guide shall consist of the following components: cover page, table of contents, your course objective of the brief statement of the skill of the task student will expect with the performance, successful completion of the course master sheet, briefly summarizes all the information about the course lesson plan, method of evaluation, required passing score, instructing materials, master copies. Annex A contains the specific recommendation development each of the components of the course instructor guide. 6.3 Course Style Guide. The course style guide that describes the instruction method that you use to prevent and present the course and describe the content format of the course material of the course style guide should cover the instruction method, testing, evaluation, testing, item bank, sample test, answer key correction guide, test validation, test item criteria, performance test, performance checklist, course material assembly, appearance, audio, visual material specification, written per style, word processing, presentation, software requirements, Annex B, detailed recommendation each for the style guide topic. And then it goes into the annexes, and this is about recommended practice of the transit vehicle inspection maintenance training qualifications.